All right, joining me now here on the Matthew Filipowicz Show is Chad Prescott. Chad is the spokesperson for presidential candidate Jeb Bush. Chad, thank you for being on the show. Thank you, Matthew. I can't wait to bring the joy of Jeb to your show. Okay, so Chad, Jeb Bush was recently giving a talk in New Hampshire at an event by the Koch brothers group Americans for Prosperity, where he said that we need to figure out a way to phase out Medicare. Yeah, and big surprise, the lefty, liberal, loony, loser media jumped all over his perfectly reasonable comment and took it entirely out of context, as you on the left like to do all the time, thank you very much. I mean, you act like Jeb Bush wants to get rid of Medicare as we know it. Well, doesn't he? No, he wants to phase it out. Phase it out, Matthew. Phasing something out is totally different than ending it. It's like a magic trick. It's like, hey, where did Medicare go? It was here just a second ago and now it's gone. Poof! It phased out. Jeb Bush is like the David Blaine of the social safety net. And yet, recent studies show that Medicare is not only extremely popular among both Democrats and Republican voters, but is in much better long-term financial shape. Oh, and just because something is popular and keeping old people from dying, that's suddenly a good reason to keep it? Since when, Matthew? I mean, look, raising taxes on the rich is also very popular among all voters, Democrat and Republican, and it's not like we're going to do that. You know, this is just like when you, in the liberal loser media, were attacking Jeb Bush when he said that workers need to work longer hours. You know who really needs to work longer hours, Matthew, huh? You know who does? Retired people. I mean, hello, retired people don't work at all. The lazy so-and-sos with their naps and they're falling asleep in their armchairs. Look, aren't we all in this country tired of the retired getting a free ride, huh? You know, even though technically they've been paying into Medicare and Social Security their entire working lives, but maybe, Matthew, maybe it's time that the elderly got off of their bony butts and started paying their fair share. So you want that same elderly not to have access to health care? Matthew, the only way to save Medicare is to destroy Medicare. I don't think you know what the word save means. Look, Matthew, I sense your godless, left-wing judgment over there. But look, Jeb Bush isn't heartless. He's a Christian, I'll have you know. Sure, he'll pulverize and destroy Medicare, but then, Matthew, what we'll do is we'll privatize it, and we'll replace it with a voucher system. And then we can let the free market decide who lives and who dies. You know, if you don't like that, it can be a voucher, or we can call them medical gift cards. I mean, who doesn't love a gift card, Matthew? And who knows what type of disease you can buy a cure for with your own personal medical gift card? A medical gift card? Exactly! And we can totally open up the market even more. People can then get a coupon for cancer. They can get a Groupon for gout. They can get a living social for lymphoma. Just think of the possibilities. And even more important, Matthew, think of the profitability. What happens once the elderly have spent their health care gift card voucher and they're still sick? Well, if that happens, Matthew, if it does, it's probably because the elderly didn't work hard enough to be cured. Did you ever think of that? That they probably didn't, oh, I don't know, pull the disease up by the bootstraps, you know? So look, if the elderly are lazy and they're still sick and they're not working long enough hours and they're not being productive enough to cure their diseases, well then, Matthew, the elderly, they're just going to have to make the tough choices. The tough choices?
Yes, Matthew, the tough choices. But remember, this is the United States of America. They have options. Grandma or Grandpa can choose to sell their house, they can sell their belongings, they can choose to sell everything they own, or Matthew, they can choose to die. But let's not bring that up, Matthew, due to the whole Jeb Bush, Terry Schiavo thing.
All right, we're going to go. Chad Prescott, spokesperson for Jeb Bush. We'll be right back.
Remember, you can only die with dignity if the free market says so.